Welcome to this press conference of the stakeholders in the most important economic pillar of our island, tourism. A very special thank you to the management staff of Oyster Bay for hosting this press conference today. We are very grateful for this. This is just an example of the partnership we all believe will revitalize our economy and set us firmly on the path to a faster recovery from the devastation we experienced at the hands of Hurricane Irma exactly 1 year and 5 days ago. Looking back today, who could have imagined that after that fateful September 6, 2017, after all the terror and horror and unimaginable destruction that we all felt, we would be able to gather here today to share with the public through the media how far we have come and what we are doing to accelerate the rebuilding and rehabilitation of our economy. Following what in some French media was referred to as Irmageddon, the Princess Juliana International Airport, which took a severe pounding from that record-breaking storm, saw it fit to institute a monthly stakeholders meeting apart from other initiatives, in order to establish a platform where we could all come together to share information about the developments in our various areas and devise strategies that would essentially allow all of us to move forward together as one island with one specific objective of rebuilding stronger, better, and smarter. I am therefore very grateful today, in particular, to all our stakeholders from the North, the Vice President of the Collectivité of Saint-Martin, Mrs. Valérie Desmassieux, our colleagues from L'Espérance Airport in Grand Case, representatives of the Tourist Office in Marigot, of the French Hotel Association and Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Chambre Consulaire Interprofessionnelle de Saint-Martin, all of whom are present today to join their counterparts in the South, not only as a show of solidarity, but more importantly, as a reaffirmation of that popular saying by Félix Choisy, a Saint-Martin patriot, who said, "The gale does not stop at this frontier." Indeed, we all know for sure that Hurricane Irma did not stop at the border. I also want to thank all the stakeholders from the South, the Minister of Théâtre in particular, who has been nothing short of incredible in his constant support of the airport, the St. Martin Tourist Bureau, the St. Martin Civil Aviation Authority, Port of St. Martin, who hosted the last stakeholders meeting, the SHTA, and the Maho Group for their unwavering support in this initiative. The media will have the opportunity to pose questions to all stakeholders who continue to work tirelessly and diligently to ensure that our island, both halves of it, rebounds from the war zone, to quote the words of King Willem Alexander, which Hurricane Irma turned St. Martin into. The fact that we are still here, still standing and still forging ahead, is testimony not only to the resilience of our people, but also to the abiding grace of God that has been with us through all this. A little over 12 months ago, the Princess Juliana International Airport was closed completely to commercial aviation. You will recall that the airport became an area of military operations, especially for evacuation purposes. Many of those who left there are back today, and commercial flights are now at 80% of what they used to be pre-Irma. With practically all the major airlines back to service, our destination still shows why we are so popular. As a matter of fact, we hope that by November this year to transfer our normal operations currently being performed out of the temporary pavilions back to the terminal building, the reconstruction of which will continue as we strive to restore PGIAE, Princess Juliana International Airport, to its former glory. We are indeed committed to making our airport the leader in regional aviation once again. Before I end, I'd like to ask all of us to stand for a moment in silence in remembrance of all souls who were lost in the storms of last September. Our hearts and prayers go out to their respective families. May they rest in peace. Amen.
SXM, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
We have great news. I think Ms. Chun shared a lot of information as well over the last few stakeholder meetings. However, we have a lot of the European lines returning in Q4 this year. So you have the return of Azamara, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Costa Cruises, Holland American Lines, P&O, AIDA, and also TUI Cruises will be returning in Q4 this year. I think what is important for us to highlight here today is also our performance, in particular in the summer months this year, where we've actually over-exceeded the arrivals pre-Irma since May this year. So if you look at cruise statistics from May up until August, including August, we've overperformed from the same period before Hurricane Irma. And I think that's quite interesting for the destination. Right now, our statistics show a 16% plus arrival increase versus what we initially forecasted. So all forecast was around 900,000 to 1.1 million. Today we're seeing numbers around 1.4 million cruise passengers. And that number can increase based on the performance in the high season should we have that trend of 16% plus per month. If you compare, for example, November and December this year comparing to the previous year, it's basically the same. So we're seeing numbers around 200,000 cruise passengers for November and around 240,000 cruise passengers in December. That trend will proceed throughout 2019, and obviously our team is still working hard ahead in adding additional vessels to the cruise schedule for 2019. The numbers what we're seeing for next year is around 1.5 million cruise passengers, but that can increase as well, based of course on our performance, our reviews, which we are looking at right now. We'll be sharing some details in November in regards to the cruise expenditure. Hints show that crew members are actually spending similar to before. It shows that the passengers is spending a little less on average. So that is something that we have to look at, and we will give more details as that report becomes available to us.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Hi, what's up, St. Martin? My name is Rene Leverett, and I play baseball. And I've represented St. Martin in numerous international tournaments and professionally around the world. Sports matters to me because it reveals and develops character. So I challenge the business community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facilities. I also ask the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take the challenge and step up for sports. Because hashtag sports matters, hashtag are you in?
Looking back, we can determine that many things have happened since that opening of the parliamentary year. We had changes in government. We had an election. We had a new parliament sitting on the 20th of April 2017. I want to issue a very special word of thanks to the Secretariat of the Parliament of St. Martin. In 2017, when this new parliamentary year was opened, it was quite a task because so many of you, like most St. Martiners, had suffered a great deal because of the passing of Hurricane Irma. Yet you endured. Yet you came out to ensure that the Parliament of St. Martin could be up and running as soon as possible. For these efforts and for the many hurdles that you have encountered in carrying out this task on behalf of the Parliament of St. Martin, I thank you, and I thank your family for allowing you to go the extra mile to ensure that the Parliament, the legislator of the country, St. Martin, could function. The connector that the Parliament should be between the government and the people of St. Martin continue to be an issue that I believe we all in the Parliament of St. Martin should work hard on. There is still, and I'm not saying who's to blame for this fact, but there's still a lot of misunderstanding regarding the role of Parliament on behalf of the people of St. Martin. I look forward in the new parliamentary year to deliberate on the governing program which underpins the actions of the government and the accountability of the government to the Parliament of St. Martin. I want to thank the members of Parliament who supported that I could execute the position of Chairperson of Parliament during the time that I have been able to do so. There's still a lot of work ahead of us, And I believe it behooves the Parliament of St. Martin to set the priorities that we would like to address going forward. To all the members of Parliament, thank you for your efforts in carrying out your role as a member of Parliament for the country, St. Martin. To the people of St. Martin, it has been a long and tedious year. And yes, during this time when hurricanes are looming and the fear is again there in terms of what would, if and what would be the results of the path rather of the hurricanes, how would we be affected? These questions are on everyone's mind at a time when there is still so much to be done for the population at large. I can only but echo the sentiments of the frustration that we too feel because of the pace of the assistance and aid that should be coming to St. Martin. And so it behooves all of us, government and Parliament, to ensure that while, yes, procedures have to be followed, the people of St. Martin can be helped in a much more expedient way than has happened until now. During the past year, much attention has been paid, and depending on which side of the aisle you stood at or you stand at regarding the conditions that were placed as part of the assistance coming to St. Martin. But at the end of the day, the records are there for themselves, and the signatures attached to these different documentations and agreements will always be part of history. It is time that the Parliament of St. Martin, again, during this closing and looking forward to a new parliamentary year, takes it upon ourselves, to renew our vision, to renew our commitment in terms of giving the people of St. Martin everything that we have as members of Parliament, as a collective body of Parliament, to ensure that indeed progress is made and that the Parliament of St. Martin has a role to play in that progress. So again, to you members of Parliament, those of you who have been in this house for years, for months, and especially the new ones joining this Parliament, I think that if we really utilize the creativity that members of Parliament always start out with, and the experience of the members of Parliament that is also present in this House, we would be a force as Parliament that all would have to reckon with. As long as we continue to be divided amongst ourselves, then of course those are the opportunities that will be seized by others in order to weaken the structure, the democratic structure of St. Martin. So thank you, members of Parliament. It has been a challenging yet great year, and I look forward to the coming year of Parliament being an even more fruitful and progressive year, not so much for us, or not of course for us, not only for us, but especially for the people of this beautiful country.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina, and I play football with the Walichi Women's soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and will help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sports Matter, hashtag Are You In?
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Last week, I had the privilege also to attend the workshop hosted by the Student Support Services on supporting children with special needs, a cafe-style conversation. This workshop was open to the general public for anyone who has an interest in caring and educating children with special needs. And I was very pleased to see the turnout. I must commend the staff of the Student Support Services Division for the work that they're doing and for the services that they're offering to our community. Saturday, September 8th, is celebrated all around the world as the International Day of Literacy. Here on St. Martin, the ministry chose to recognize the whole week as a Literacy Week. So on the 6th, I personally kicked off the Literacy Week on St. Martin by going to one of our schools, the community after-school program at the Methodist Agogic Center. The readathon is organized by the Education on the Move team in collaboration with the St. Martin National Commission for UNESCO and Friends, as they continue to host the St. Martin Literacy Week. The readathon began on September 6th and will run through September 14th, 2018. Thank you to all the volunteer readers, participating schools, and businesses. Remember, readers are leaders. So drop everything and read with the DEAR DEAR program. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth, and Sports, in collaboration with the Ministry of Romi, is currently busy taking down the pavilions which were erected after Hurricane Irma. The process has been a tedious one, but we're now making quite some progress in getting them down. With regard to the PSVE school, a report on the mediation meetings that were held by my chef de cabinet, Peter Gittens, and I, with the board of the Foundation for Academic and Vocational Education, FAVE, with the principal and staff of the Preparatory Secondary Vocational Education section of FAVE, as well as with the Windward Islands Teachers Union, WITU. That report has been submitted to the board of FAVE and will subsequently be submitted to the other stakeholders. The findings and recommendations outlined remain with the focus of the education of the students at the PSVE school. It is my hope that all parties will work together to guarantee the students' success. I just came from a site visit to the National Institute of Professional Advancement, NIPA, along with our Honorable Prime Minister, also the Minister of Justice, the Minister of TIAT, and the Minister of Romi. And we were able to see the different courses and training programs that were being offered. The students and staff were quite interested and involved in the various activities that they are engaged in, particularly the construction courses being offered in collaboration with the Ministry of VSA and under the supervision at this time of the MICIT, a Technical Vocational Institute located in Trinidad, we saw that the students were completely engaged, and we were very pleased to see that this type of education is being offered especially to our students, and we saw lots of female students, which we were very pleased, and encourage our female students to become involved in technical vocational education as well. And so I encourage the students, the staff, the management, and the board of the NEPA to continue to work towards raising the standards of vocational training on St. Martin. I would like to say a big thank you to all who took the time out to pause, to stop, and to reflect on our 906 National Reflection Day. Let us continue to honor our unsung heroes and all the citizens that work together to bring us to where we are today. Thank you also for documenting and sharing your observations of the moment of silence. The photos, the videos, the poems, and songs that were shared were very encouraging. There's so much more to be done, but when we look back, we have come a long way. Together, I can say that we are overcomers.